Pittsburgh is a city with a long history of industry and manufacturing, having once been the third most headquartered city in the U.S. Most notably, Pittsburgh dominated the steel industry, its river shores lined with steel mills and other metal industries. These production facilities caused massive pollution and environmental dangers during their decades of operation, but in the 21st century, Pittsburgh has undergone a massive shift away from these industries to become a leader in the global initiative for greener cities. Steel mills are now replaced with riverfront parks, and companies everywhere are changing the way they operate to promote sustainability. Certainly, when I arrived, I was shocked to learn the number of ecological and sustainable companies around and Pittsburgh's strong economy for green business. One of the top issues facing the planet right now is plastic pollution, caused by irresponsible production and consumption of plastics, which pollute environments and release toxic chemicals that are circulated around the globe. And this pollution isn't exclusive to single-use bottles and containers and other similar things that we're used to seeing littered around, but it's also embodied in the home appliances we use in our vehicles and other large-scale applications that we don't typically think of but are still going to be around just as long. I've had the opportunity of working this past summer with Covestro, a global supplier of polymers and performance materials and one of Pittsburgh's foremost innovators in industrial sustainability. Covestro materials are found in household appliances, cars, various foam applications, and coatings, and are so prominent around the world that they say you are never more than 6 feet from a Covestro product. Due to its role as a major producer of plastics, it has a major role in SDG number 12, responsible production and consumption. Covestro is answering this call to action by its commitment to circularity and biorenewable feedstocks for its plastic products, which it hopes will reduce this rampant pollution around the world. To gain a voice of expertise in Covestro's sustainability initiatives, I talked to Tim Teal of the Group Innovation and Sustainability Department. When asked what Covestro's reasons are for going circular, Tim goes on to explain how a linear economy is no longer compatible with today's global challenges and is failing in terms of its short-sighted efforts to preserve our planet and our resources. He goes on to explain how global megatrends are able to show how resources are limited and becoming increasingly scarce. But this circularity initiative aligns with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which Covestro diligently follows and practices. When I asked Tim how Covestro would make this transition, he explained how they're working to limit and eliminate emissions from their processes using renewable sources of energy. He also described how the company is shifting from fossil fuel-based to bio-based and recycled content products. He also explained how the company is shifting from petroleum-based to bio-based and recycled content products, and implementing innovative recycling to create closed-loop systems so that Covestro can reclaim its end-of-life products for reuse in the supply chain. My role at Covestro consisted of examining the ESG goals and progress of customers who will be buying Covestro products to assess the market for our circularity initiative. In addition, I have examined e-waste disposal legislation across the United States to gauge the available applications for circular economy around the country. My last project was tracking the different companies of the tire industry to see how Covestro can recapture certain types of plastic found within tires to be recycled back into feedstocks for our products. In a separate conversation with Tim, I asked him how Covestro is able to recapture plastic products for circularity and how customers and suppliers are involved in the process. He explained how Covestro has pilot programs to recycle mattresses in Europe as well as appliance and insulation products. This is a large effort that includes customers, government entities, and universities in a truly collaborative effort. The end goal is to fully vertically integrate the idea of circularity within the supply chain, with everything from suppliers to the end consumers of the products. Tim wraps up by explaining that Covestro has been hard at work building these relationships throughout the supply chain, and although there has been success, there is still a long way to go before full circularity is reached. Admittedly, I was not super hopeful about the future of sustainability in industry, especially for a chemical manufacturing company, prior to working and learning alongside one. I am happy to say, though, that I was wrong in many ways, and the effort Covestro is putting into reinventing chemical manufacturing for the purpose of circularity and sustainability is genuinely driven and something I'm proud to have been a part of. I can only hope more companies of this size will follow suit. Ultimately, my summer in Pittsburgh has taught me a lot about sustainability in our continually growing society. I'm happy to have had the opportunity to work with such a large and innovative company as Covestro, and my only regret is not being able to spend more time working with them towards their circularity goals. This is certainly a company I would like to see uphold SDG number 12, and I am excited to see how they are able to innovate to get there. Pittsburgh as a whole offered me a pleasantly surprising summer home, and their current example gives me a lot of hope for the future of sustainable cities around the world.